Michael, do you want to kick us off?
Sure, I will, yeah. Thanks. Hi, Jacob, how are you?
Good, yeah. Thanks, Mike. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Jacob, congratulations. Another opportunity to play for Ireland. You must be delighted. A lot of new faces there, but obviously, anytime you put on a green shirt is a particularly special occasion.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, hopefully, getting a few fans in the stadium, which is going to be awesome. Figured it out on the way down. I think it's 480 days since there's been fans in the Aviva. So yeah, like I'm looking forward to that. It'll be nice to be playing in front of the family and friends again. And like you said, it's awesome that there's a few guys, new guys in that are getting opportunities to play.
As you mentioned, the fans, I said this very tongue-in-cheek, but the biggest crowd that you'll play in front of all season. It must be fantastic, something to look forward to.
It is, yeah. Like in the current climate, like getting any fans in is obviously a massive bonus. And when you've been playing in front of zero people for a year and a half now, 3,000 will seem like an awful lot. So it's not quite a packed out Aviva, but it's a good start and it's something that's very exciting for us.
Can you talk to me about camp over the last while? Andy said that you just had 12 days together. There are a lot of people who are not there because they're away with the Lions, but there are a lot of people who are kind of pushing the more established players for a start as well. There must be a kind of almost like a freshness attached to the whole thing.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, whenever the Lions are away, it provides opportunities for lads to come in and show what they're about. I was fortunate enough to be one of them in 2017, and I think it's 13 new fellas that are in at the moment, and you can really see the impact and the hunger that they have in training. Everybody that's come in has fit really well into the group, which is a massive thing. Socially, and then on the training pitch, everybody is really committed to the role that they've been given. So yeah, it's exciting. It's nice to have a few fresh faces in and have a bit of a different experience around the place.
And just a final question in relation to Japan and what you can expect from them. I mean, I suppose expect the unexpected is one thing, but I mean they've had a couple of games under their belt, so they should be a lot more dangerous because of that.
Yeah, definitely. You can see the stride forwards they're making. Even particularly between that Sunwolves game they played and then the Lions game. They looked a lot better and a lot stronger. I know it was a pretty different team that were out against the Lions, but they're looking like they're confident and we know just how good they can be. Like you said, during the World Cup, that obviously a massively disappointing game for us, but probably showed us just how good they can be. Which means that going into this game and obviously training over the last week or two, we've had to give them the respect that they rightfully have earned and deserve.
That's great. Thanks, man. Have a good one on Saturday.
Cheers.
Hey, Jacob. I think I'm right in saying you are the most capped back in the squad, so the old head at 25. How conscious are you of that? And because Andy was just talking there about getting you guys into the leadership group, do you look around you and see these players that haven't had as much experience as you and try and maybe impart some wisdom on them?
I don't know about that. Like I think I might get a few slaps if I try to impart wisdom on the likes of Stuart McCloskey. But no, yeah, it's something that probably it did occur to me, to be honest, that there weren't many lads with an awful lot of caps in the squad this time round. But that being said, there's still guys that have massive amounts of experience at club level. Like the likes of Stuart McCloskey, 130 odd games for Ulster. Like Chris Farrell, the same, not that many games for Ulster, but has played in for Munster. But has played in some pretty huge games for them and is obviously a very experienced player. So while there's maybe not as many international caps, along that back line, like there definitely is the experience, in terms of rugby experience. But yeah, it's been nice to, not feel like the the young newbie in the back line for once. So yeah, it's been good.
And just finally, because as you said there, it's 4 years since your debut. You've certainly achieved quite a lot then. Do you use this to kind of sit back and look at what you've maybe accomplished in 4 years of international rugby so far?
To a certain degree, yeah. But at the same time, very much no. I'm still like I'm only 25, and I'm obviously, still not the finished product. I want to keep improving and evolving as a player, and the best way to do that is to take every opportunity, every game as a as a way to do that. So when it comes to these two games, I've been viewing them as just a chance for me to play international rugby again and improve on what I've done so far.
Thanks, Jim. Good luck.
No worries, thanks.
Jacob, it's been a really long season. It's almost 12 months at this stage. How has that been for you? Has it been a bit too long? Have you been mentally fatigued by the length of it, or how has it been?
Yeah, like it has been tough. Like mentally, and obviously with having a couple of injuries during the season is a bit frustrating for myself as well. But like, we're just lucky to be able to be actually being playing rugby. Like during the first lockdown, it was kind of nice to get the head showered for 3 or 4 weeks, and then after that we were dying to get back, and I couldn't wait to get back playing rugby. So I suppose anytime that it feels a bit mentally fatiguing and a bit draining, we kind of just go back to that initial feeling of like how much we were missing rugby during lockdown. And that's the kind of that's what has to prevail in this scenario. But like I think I'm gonna feel like I've earned my break after these couple of games. I'll put it that way.
Have you had many breaks during the season? Because there was one spell when Ulster went about 5 weeks without a game, or what way has it played out for you?
It has and it hasn't. During that 5 week spell, I was actually injured for most of it. So while Ulster weren't playing and I didn't actually miss that many games, I felt like I didn't really get a break because I was in rehabbing and getting ready and trying to get back as quickly as I could for the Six Nations games. So yeah, there have been a few breaks, in between, but it has felt like a very long season.
And finally, were you disappointed that you didn't get the call for South Africa?
Yeah, look, obviously I was disappointed. I was probably, considering that I hadn't played in 4 out of 5 Six Nations games, and there were other guys that were performing very, very well in the back three. I was probably a bit of an outside shout, so I don't think too many people were expecting my name on that list, but that doesn't stop you being disappointed with not getting selected. But it's the kind of thing, I'm not there and have to park that and focus on something else. And luckily, these games were scheduled in so that, I was able to focus on something else and put, the frustration and effort into these games.
Super. Thank you.
Hi Jacob, how's it going?
Not too bad, thanks. All right.
Just in regards to Ben Moxham earlier in the week from the 20s was talking about you being one of the people who've helped him most since he stepped up for Ulster. Like when you came into the Ireland squad first 4 years ago, who played that role for you in terms of, I suppose, imparting knowledge or kind of helping you out?
I think Moxie's been a bit kind there. I don't think I've done too much to help him, to be honest. But like obviously whenever I came into the setup, I was pretty lucky to have a lot of superstars, to be honest, around me. I had Tommy Bowe, Andrew Trimble, Charles Piatow, Craig Gilroy, who while he was maybe only 25, 26, had like over 150 caps for Ulster. So I was pretty fortunate to have a lot of experience and talent around me, and I'd say every one of them played a part in terms of bringing me into the setup and making me feel comfortable in there. So it's always something that I was appreciative of, and always try to make an effort to kind of help the young lads and give them a text of encouragement or tell them what they're doing right, or probably most of the time what they're doing wrong.
Jacob, how do you?
Not too bad, thanks. I'm alright.
And obviously, you know Hugo Keenan quite well from your under 20 days. It's been a very extraordinary rise in the last 12 months. Consider this time 12 months ago he was uncapped, and now he's going to be playing his 12th consecutive game.
Yeah, obviously Hugo's been brilliant since he came in, and from playing under 20s with him, always knew how good a player he was. But probably just hadn't got the opportunities, as earlier on and as a few of the rest of us did, coming out of the under 20s team. But he's shown his class since, and his work rate and his kind of thirst for getting better and for being curious, as Faz puts it, has been brilliant. So he's a super player, and it's great to see him getting the opportunities to play that he hadn't had for a while.
And you were in opposite positions back then. You were a fullback and he was in the wing. Did you always sense he had the attributes to kind of fill a 15 jersey at some point? It's hard to say. That was 2016, I think. I could barely catch a rugby ball at that point. But in fairness, a lot of the skills between wing and fullback are obviously very transferable, and Hugo's stepped into that the 15 role brilliantly. He's done really well, and you can see how comfortable he looks at the back there. So he's maybe at under 20s probably not something I was looking out for, to be honest. But it's obvious that he's done very well, and that the skills that he had on the wing at under 20s have served him well, at fullback. That's great, Jacob. Thank you.
Okay, guys, are we almost ready to wrap up? Anyone else got anything further for Jacob? Okay, Michael Sadler, are you trying to get in there as well? Michael Corcoran, do you want to go in there?
Yeah, sorry. Okay, apologies. Yeah, sorry. Jacob, just wondering, there's a fair bit of pace and speed in not just this team, but in terms of the squad. Who's the fastest over 30 or 40 meters between everybody? I assume it's back, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know. Ryan Baird gives a few boys a run for the money. Over 30 or 40, probably. I don't know actually. Probably one of scrum halves, like Craig Casey over about 10 meters, and then after 10 meters, the wee legs can't keep up, and you start to reel him in.
Robert Balakoon?
Oh, flip, yeah. Yes, definitely Balakoon, actually. Completely forgot about Balakoon. It's 100% him, yeah. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Thanks, man.
Sorry, Dave, could I just jump in here, Jacob? Just a word on Stuart McCluskey. Obviously, a very rare chance for him to get a start. What does that mean, just having him in the side?
Stu's obviously a fantastic player, and he's in camp regularly, but just frustratingly probably for him tends to miss out with the quality of centres that we have. But he's a fantastic player. Playing with him week in, week out for Ulster, he's probably the calm head in that back line. I was going to say old head, but considering he's only 29, I'm not sure I'm allowed to say that. But he's a super player. Defensively, he's definitely a leader, and in attack, I think everybody is well aware of the attributes that he has. So to see him getting another opportunity in a green shirt is great, and hopefully he goes really well at the weekend.
Thanks, Jacob.
No worries.
Okay, guys, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks.